Hi, welcome to the Quilter's Nook, and it's time for another Studio 180 design technique. And we're still using our Tucker trimmer, and this time we are going to do the shaded 9 patch. So this is a fun little technique, very similar to the shaded 4 patch we did last time, and this is what it looks like. So you have lots of different squares of various colors. This can be all scrappy, it can be planned, whatever you want. You choose. This is done in strip sets, just like the shaded 4 patch. And we're gonna do a strip set with fabric 1, fabric 2, fabric 3, and then we're gonna do another strip set with fabric 4 and fabric 5, okay? And all this is on your technique sheet. So the first strip set is fabric 1, 2, and 3, and as you can tell, they're all different sizes. The technique sheet will tell you what size to cut these. We're going to sew them all together, and we're pressing to fabric 3, okay? Pressing to the larger fabric. For the second strip set, we're going to use fabrics 4 and 5, and a second 4. And you're going to sew those together, and this time they're getting pressed to the fabric 4. Okay, so this is pressed out, and this is pressed to one side. Okay, so let's start with the first strip set. In our instructions, it tells us to cut chunks, just like we've done before, and we're going to cut the chunks based on the size of strip number 1. And in my case, it was 2 1/4 inch strips. So we are going to cut 2 chunks off of there. You will need twice as many of strip set 1 as you do strip set 2 for each block. So we have these 2. For strip set 2, it tells us that we are going to cut chunks that are the size of strip number 2, which was this one, okay? And my instructions tells me 2 inches, so I'm gonna cut a 2-inch chunk. We are gonna put these together, and we're going to flip one around. We're gonna put the second strip set in the center so that we have a unit that looks like this. When you sew, you only have to match these 2 intersections. Nothing is matching right here, okay? When you get that sewn, it will look like this. Just like in the shaded 4 patch, we have to do some clipping so that things will, the seams will turn the way we want them to. So we're not going to pay attention to these intersections, we're going to pay attention right here, okay? So we're going to fold it over, we're going to find the center, and we're going to do a little clip, just like we did on the shaded 4 patch. We're going to go to the other side. We're going to go in between the 2, make a clip. And then things get pressed like they're supposed to, like they want to go, okay? Just like the shaded 4 patch, we're going to be drawing some lines. This time we're going to take a 45-degree, and I'm using the first choice ruler. We're going to put our 45-degree line at the base of our unit, and we're going to slide it down until we hit, get my 45-degree on there, until we hit these 2 intersections, just like we did on the shaded 4 patch. Okay, we're going to go this intersection and this intersection, and we're going to draw a line. And then we're going to scoot it down, keeping our 45 along the bottom, until we hit our next 2 intersections. Okay, intersection and intersection. And we're going to draw our lines, okay, just like we did on the shaded 4 patch. The instructions will also tell you what size of rectangle you need to make. We're going to put those together, right sides together, pin, and you're going to sew on both of your drawn lines. Okay, and you have this nice little guy. Now we're going to cut them apart. And we're going to put our 1/4 inch on our sewn line so that we have just a little bit of waste. Okay, so 1/4 inch there. Turn this around, put our 1/4 inch on that seam line, and cut. This is all your waste. And as you can see, we have beautiful little 9 patches. And just like in the shaded 4 patch, you get 2, okay? So then we're going to press, like we've always done, to our large triangle. That's what I don't have is my Tucker trimmer. Here it is. Okay. When we go to trim this, I am making a 4.5 inch finished block. So I'm gonna trim to 5, right? So that it finishes in my quilt 4.5. So I'm gonna go to the solid circle. We're gonna use the diagonal line and the 5 inch sizing guide. So the 5 inch sizing guide goes across our long seam. Our diagonal is gonna sit right at this intersection, okay? That's the only place you have to worry about. Long diagonal and your intersection of your 3 pieces up here. Trim up, trim across, pick up your ruler, rotate your unit. Again, 5 goes across the diagonal, common diagonal hits right here, and your square up lines are right along the edge of your fabric. And then we're gonna cut again. Cut up, cut across, and you have a beautifully made shaded 9 patch. Kind of fun. There are, on the back of the technique sheet, it shows you a lot of variations that you can do, a lot of ways that you can use this unit. Think of it as a half square triangle and just use it how you would a half square triangle, and you can get fun little designs with this. And depending on the colors that you use, you can have some fun quilts. One quilt we have in store is Electric Pixel. And this is the shaded 9 patch is up here in the corner. We've popped the corner of this, so kind of ignore that. But this white would be your triangle. And then here's those squares that we did. So this project uses the shaded 9 patch and a corner pop tool to create a fun little design. So you can do a lot with this tool and a lot with this technique. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. As always, stop in. I'd be more than happy to walk you through this. And next time, I think we're doing the log cabin. All right, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.